Welcome to another Conductor Thursday Livestream. We have two amazing guests, Tommy from TommyToonWorld, and we have the one and only Mondo 5 Fires.
Let's go.
We have an exciting bunch of topics to talk about. HHN dropping that fire. We are so very excited for that. So without further ado, we are going to get right into it. But first, a little preview of the presentation. Here we go. And again, welcome everybody. Again, we have a very exciting show for you tonight. Tommy, it's great to have you back on the show, sir. Where can everyone find you on social media, sir?
What's up, Brandon? I appreciate you for having me on, man. I got a lot of respect for you. So you can find me on Instagram at TommyToon_, and then on YouTube and X, it's TommyToonWorld.
Absolutely great to have you on, sir. Mondo, it is an absolute joy to have you on the show, sir. Where can everyone find you on social media?
You guys can find me Five Fires YouTube, and then Instagram and Twitter at the Cali Bay.
Absolutely. Again, we're going to jump right into it, fellas. We're going to talk about HHN. Mondo, so you were at Universal the other day. You got invited by Universal Hollywood and John Murdy to preview some of the houses. Can you kind of give us an insight a little bit on how incredibly detailed those houses were that you were able to go through?
I had a chance to do Monstros 2 and Dead Exposure Death Valley. For Monstros, I was really concerned if it was going to feel like Monstros 1. For the most part, it doesn't. It really doesn't feel like Monstros 1, but I feel like it has the same cadence because it's 3 monsters all over again. So it's like just 2 quick stories, and then El Cucuy is kind of like the last 40%. For me, Monstros, really great details, very graphic stuff going on in there. I like that they're using the big heads again, stuff like that. So that's going to be really cool to see, like with the show lights and how these monsters are going to come to life, like scare actor wise. Dead Exposure, you just had a different vibe when you were in there. And what I mean by that is like this could be contender for like best house of the year. Even though like Texas Chainsaw is just like God mode, we'll talk about that one later. But Dead Exposure, you just get this vibe that like this is gonna be good. It's gonna be really good. There's some very graphic stuff as well because you're going into a military base where they've been testing, and then you find out that they were testing on primates. So like the first half, you're gonna run into primate zombie toxic monkey, you know what I mean? Like primate zombie toxic stuff. And then it kind of leads into like human zombies that are toxic. And then it goes into like military as like the third portion of it all. But yeah, Dead Exposure. The main thing I thought of when I was in there was like, there's too much stuff to look at. Yeah. Like if I did this in a regular, like like the lights are on, all the bells and whistles are going, scare actor. You can't absorb things. There's too much to look at, and I feel like in that scenario, it has a lot of repeatability because you just want to go again and look at 20 different things that you didn't see the first time. Because that's what I told John. I was like, John, I feel like there's just too much to look at. I don't like, your eyes don't kind of go to things. Your eyes just kind of like wander, but like in a good way, because there's just so much detail that went into Dead Exposure.
Absolutely. So when you said that to John Murdy, because obviously they had no scare actors in there, none of the effects were working. You're just walking in there during the day. What was his response to that?
He was just saying, like, we're going all out. This is a big year for them. And the thing is we haven't even seen the final details because they still have to go in and do the finishing touches and then add blood, because we were seeing like he kept referencing to it, like, you guys are seeing the cleanest walkthrough ever, because come like obviously next week, Tuesday, this will all be bloodied, like everything. Yeah, he just to reference back to Dead Exposure, it's hard to like show it in photo, but there's gonna be a portion where, like, I guess like a body gets dragged. One of the primates drags like a human body to a different room, and then like in that same process, like there's gonna be this hallway that's like a triple scare that'll lead you to like where you run into like the zombies hanging on the wall. Oh, so all I kept thinking was like, this house is gonna have a lot of scare actors, dude. Yeah. It just Dead Exposure had a different tone than Monstros. Monstros is probably gonna be really good, but Dead Exposure it really seemed like this is good. Like, it was just gonna be a high intensity house for sure.
Well, see, it's funny you mention that, because you mentioned that Monstros 2 is going to be like in God mode. And the way I'm kind of taking it from what you just described, the Dead Exposure walking through it with not every detail put in it yet, it almost seems like we're going to have two God mode houses, one on the upper lot, one on the lower lot.
And originals too.
Yeah.
I feel like he's allowed to go hard because they're original. It's just whatever he wants to do. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's no like storyline he has to follow. It's just whatever nightmares are in John Murdy, right?
Absolutely. And one thing I want to ask you before I go to Tommy is, did you ever see Dead Exposure in Orlando?
No, I've only seen like photo and videos.
Okay.
And that's another thing is all I kept thinking was how I'm referencing to, like, there's so much stuff to look at. Imagine like a flash.
Yeah.
Just like like, I don't know, dude. I just feel as a normal walkthrough, one walkthrough is not enough of Dead Exposure. You're gonna want to do it again. Like, I guarantee it. And it's supposed to have a 80s synth like tone to it, like the music to it. It's gonna be like an 80s. So I was just like, this is like literally perfect. Like, what the heck?
God, that's so dope. So, Tommy, I want to ask you, because you went last year with me to HHN. You had a blast. Let me ask you, since Monstros and Dead Exposure, like Mondo was saying, is two original houses, let me ask you right off the bat, which one are you more excited for? Let's start with that.
I'm pumped for Dead Exposure.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of zombies and that type of stuff. I know it's like with nuclear and all that, so that looks pretty good. I'm pretty excited for all the original houses. Like I said, the Universal Monsters one is very high on my list.
And it's funny you mentioned that, because for the first time ever, and John Murdy explained this at Midsummer Scream, Mondo, you were there, that Soundstage 12, which is iconic for the Universal movie lot. Absolutely iconic. We're going through that soundstage for the very first time, and what a treat to have Universal Monsters in that soundstage. What do you think we're going to expect? Because that's, as far as I know, that's the biggest soundstage still to this very day on the lot.
That's crazy, man. I'm wondering if how they split the budget up, because if the weekend's in a soundstage that Stranger Things was in, and then now we're getting Universal in this soundstage, it's going to be hard to pick which one you want. But the story behind the Universal Monsters one sounds fire. You know, I'm really excited for that.
I'm really curious because when you think about it too, Universal Monsters is technically an original too, with Saskia and that Van Helsing type of thing. I'm excited to see Bride of Frankenstein come back. I really don't know where they're trying to take the story and how like what kind of ending it's gonna have.
Yeah.
I was really trying to keep an eye out for Florida. Florida people weren't really talking about Eternal Bloodline very much. Did you guys get that vibe, or you saw a lot of Eternal Bloodline talk?
No.
I haven't heard anything from Eternal Bloodline.
No.
Nothing from over there, yeah.
Isn't Orlando's doing their team member preview tonight?
Yeah, I think it was yesterday. Today is like
opening
a premium
yeah.
$350 experience.
Yeah. Which is highly interesting to me, and I was going to actually bring that up because Mondo, I've told you, Tommy, I've told you as well that I'm doing the RIP tour. Me and Tommy are both doing it the first night. Tommy has it at 5 o'clock. I have it at 5:20. And one of the things I did find out, though, which you kind of take a risk, is because the RIP ticket, at least for Hollywood, I'm sure Orlando's is the same way. You know, if we have a good lineup that year, that ticket sells out fast.
Yeah.
And the fact that you get it the first opening weekend, and especially the first day, you know, I want to remind everyone out there that is doing the RIP tour the opening weekend, there might be effects. There might be, you know, how can I put it, glitches with each house, because they are still trying to get everything, you know, perfect. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure Murdy and Williams, they do a great job trying to train people and get people ready. That's what the whole team member previews for. But you know, you're still going to have fail safes. That's still going to happen. So, you know, that's one thing I've learned to deal with. But the fact that, you know, RIP, I think RIP sold out opening weekend, isn't it?
Wow. I haven't checked in a while.
You know what?
Holy smokes.
It's funny you mentioned that.
Check it right now. I'm curious. Yeah, I know Express was selling out like everything.
Yeah, we're going to check it now. I'm curious because Tommy was looking at trying to get Express Unlimited. So let's see what happens. Because I'm kind of curious myself. I think it was, let's see. Oh, now it's $409. I think I paid $349.
Wow.
I paid $389, I believe.
Oh yeah, I bought mine like what?
It never gets cheaper. That's the thing about RIP. Yeah.
Oh,
right.
God, no. Hey,
the frequent fear. The frequent fear gets cheaper.
Oh yeah, that's RIP right now.
Oh man,
that is RIP. As we look at it, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday sold out, gone. You can't even pick a time.
Crazy.
Yeah, you can't even pick a time. That's insane.
I
want to see about, you know, since Tommy brought it up, I want to see about Express Unlimited.
Check. So, like, it had sold out like a month ago on that Saturday, and then I bought GA with early entry, and then last week I just checked, and now they got it back, but it's $20 more. It's $280.
Yeah.
They probably have these triggers that, like, once it sells out, take it off, and then more expensive.
So Saturday is still available. So you can still do it, Tommy. You still have time.
I have faith. I'll do
it. And then you were saying the frequent fear or the ultimate frequent fear, Mondo?
No, frequent fear got cheaper because I bought it at like $215 or something.
Yeah.
And then it went down to $180. I was like, what?
Yeah,
But thankfully, Universal, they just told me to cancel and then they reimbursed me.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
yeah, that was really nice of them.
Yeah.
That is.
No, I want to ask you, since we're going through all this, Mondo, you said on one of your YouTube videos earlier today that you were doing RIP. When are you doing that?
Opening day, and I'm doing RIP opening day. It was a total surprise. Like I had no intentions of doing it, but our friend invited me, and I was like, sure.
Okay.
And then we're doing a RIP. The one that like I scheduled to do was Thursday the following week.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, this RIP second week is like, because you already know what you want to hit up now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. You know, I want to ask you about the houses, because a good friend, JP Land 21, he did a video today, kind of going, or no, it wasn't him. It was Dylan from Theme Park Obsession. He was doing a video like a survival guide, and he was talking about what houses to hit. He was basically talking about don't do any of the rides, because the rides are always there. Forget the rides, just do the houses. I want to ask you first, Mondo, since you and me have history. This is going to be Tommy's second year doing the event, but me and you have been doing it for quite some time. Out of all these houses that got announced, what would you do first on the lower lot?
Texas Chainsaw. Just
okay.
Yeah, you know, I haven't had a chance to like do a video like that yet. The lower lot is just going to be stupid this year. It's just too stacked. It's too stacked. Especially if Dead Exposure hits hard, and then Universal Monsters in a soundstage, Texas Chainsaw, and the weekend bar at the lower lot. Oh my gosh, dude! It's and the reason I say it's stupid is because we already saw what happened last year when they started closing the queues.
Yeah.
And I think they even stopped like letting people go to the lower lot, if I can remember sometimes, because it was just so packed.
Yeah.
And ever since like early entry became like a paid thing, it's like it like guarantees that the lower lot will be packed no matter what, because that is early entry. So I'm really scared if like I can't even do Texas Chainsaw and it's like 7 o'clock. Because early entry already stacked it up.
Yeah,
it's kind of scary. I honestly, for me, I would just try to get Texas Chainsaw out of the way on a general admission, and the weekend will probably be 3 hours by the time you get out. I don't know, dude. It's just there's no right answer right now. I think.
No.
But at least Texas Chainsaw, you got to do the best house. I feel like it's going to be the best house.
Yeah.
What are you guys hitting up? What are you hitting up first, Tommy?
So, to be honest, I think Texas is going to be the one that terrifies me the most. So I should probably hit that one first. But like I said, I'm excited for Universal Monsters, but I may be able to let that one sit. I should probably hit the ones that people are really excited about. You know, like last year, The Last of Us and Stranger Things was crazy, bro. I know you know that. So I think Texas and the weekend, if I could knock those out. If not, maybe come back to the weekend around like 12:30, 12:45.
Yeah. The last of the
That was definitely insane, without a doubt. And I loved The Last of Us. I grew up playing The Last of Us games. I fell in love with it. And you know, I saw Uncharted, and I was super excited for that house, and that house did not disappoint.
I think a great budget strategy, if you're like general admission, you have to buy early entry. Like you want to have a good day, you got to drop the $20-$30, whatever it costs, just so you could knock out Texas Chainsaw. And if you're lucky, you could maybe do a second house. And then you got to head to the upper lot and go rope drop Insidious Ghostbusters. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because that was my strategy last year, where we would do Last of Us, and if we were lucky, we could do Holidays in Hell, and then just head up to the upper lot and do was it Chucky and Universal Monsters, and then once you do those two, you head back to Evil Dead Rise and Monstros 1. And if you're lucky, you were able to do the other stuff at the lower lot. But the lower lot just gets too crazy.
Yeah.
The quicker you could get back to the upper lot, that's like your goal.
Yeah. That's for sure. I wanted to ask you, since two of the houses are going to be on the little parking lot behind the Curious George parking structure, and we have to walk through Hogsmeade. There was no setup, no props whatsoever for Death Eaters. Do you think that might be a last minute addition, or do you just think it's not happening this year?
I think it's not happening. We would have seen some setup already. I just think it's sad that the Death Eaters never came for summer, like not related to Horror Nights. And I don't even know what happened. I wish the Death Eaters would come back how they were for summer, where they're just allowed to roam around and more freely and then do magic, compared to like Horror Night Death Eaters, where they're very stationary. I didn't like that. I like it when they're just roaming around. You never know when you're going to run into one.
Yeah. And it seemed like during the summer compared to Horror Nights, I don't know how you feel, but it feels like the summer version of that, they had more scare actors roaming around than the Horror Night ones.
Yeah, and then they had like an A team, B team, so like they always had a lot out there.
Yeah, for sure. And then I want to point this out: Five Nights at Freddy. So we all saw that.
Literally came out of nowhere.
Yeah. I saw that this morning. I think it was Junior who posted it on Instagram, and I'm like, whoa, because we had it last year in the DreamWorks theater, but we had the actual animatronics.
Yeah,
that was freaking mind blowing to get up close and personal with those things. Someone posted on Twitter that it kind of seems like they cheaped out and they just kind of just put this facade here, because they have the same thing in Orlando as well.
So this is like a cardboard or something I haven't seen in person, but they had this at Dave & Buster's last year on the wall, the exact picture. But no, I'm not knocking it. I'm not knocking it because I'm wondering if they're going to put Springtrap. Because did you see that the guy, was it the guy Matthew Lillard is going to be, what's his name, Springtrap, right?
Yeah,
the bunny rabbit one that was in the movie at the end. I feel like he should be here. If we had Santa Claus at the photo op here last time, I don't know. What do you guys think?
The trend is that they usually put an actor there. Like one, I think it was Hollywood Harry previous to that.
Yeah.
And then that Violent Night dude, whatever his name was. I could only assume there's going to be an actor to this. It's going to break the internet because all the Five Nights at Freddy fans, they're all pissed that we didn't get a house.
I could see it next year.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. It makes me want to believe next year.
Yeah, because if we're getting the movie Christmas time next year, 100% they're going to set it up,
Yeah.
Great marketing for next year.
Oh,
hey, Mondo, did you catch any Blumhouse stuff?
No, I didn't have a chance to go today. This photo was from SoCalorific. I went to the park like 2 days ago or 3 days ago. I'm just kind of waiting. I want all the merch to come so I could just do one merch video.
Yeah.
They're like little here, little there. Here's a weekend hat. I just put it all out there already. I just want to see it all. So I think I have like 2 more trips before Tuesday that I want to do.
Cool.
But the Blumhouse Terror Tram, they dropped some money, man.
Yeah.
It's not like previous years. It's probably the coolest looking Terror Tram I've ever seen from the time I've gone. And it seems like a lot of people in Florida are really enjoying the Enter the Blumhouse scare zone over there. So I think it's translating good.
Yeah. So it doesn't seem like our version is going to be worse or horrible. It seems like it's going to be literally right there.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna feel more like a house than a scare zone terror tram thing.
Yeah.
Because like you're actually walking through houses, like Blum houses, I guess.
Oh
Which
yeah.
I can't believe they did that in 3 weeks. It's 3 weeks.
I can't wait.
That's
cool.
So I want to ask you about this, Mondo, because again, you did a video earlier. You're talking about all the food reviews and all that. This is from the Leatherface Barbecue. This is the menu that we've all been waiting for, and we're talking about all the menus for all for the whole event. It just dropped today or yesterday or
no, today in the morning, dude. It was just bang.
Okay.
And you know, to mention real quick, everything dropped except Hollywood and Dine. I was like, what? Are they not going to do anything?
So I want to ask you about that. And Tommy, I'm going to get to you as well. Last year, it was Chucky's Barbecue.
Yeah.
Now, across the way, we have the little Chucky area where he's going to have his own menu. So it kind of makes me wonder if they use Hollywood and Dine, wouldn't you think they wouldn't have dressed it up already?
That's what I'm asking. I feel like they're just gonna like out of nowhere just be like, it's Chucky's Barbecue again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, it only makes sense. You got the Chucky DreamWorks Theater thing, Chucky Bar, Chucky Barbecue. It is what it is. I was hoping it would be Ghostbusters.
That's what I was gonna say. That would be sick.
Yeah, everybody would have gone crazy over all those themed foods for Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah.
So where is the marshmallow going? Is it going where Scoops Ahoy was?
Nobody knows. That's what some people were telling me, that it's going to go at Scoops Ahoy area at the lower level. But I'm like, that's so far from the maze.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's across from the Texas barbecue.
Yeah, I have no idea where it's going, dude. I don't know. I really don't know.
That's insane. So we're looking at this menu here for Leatherface. So I'm going to get into the other ones. I'm going to start with you, Tommy. Out of everything you see here on this menu, since you do a lot of food reviews, and Tommy, you're well known for that on your channel, what on here interests you that you're looking at?
Well, I mean, brisket always catches my attention, but is it going to have the same barbecue sauce as the pulled pork Chucky sandwich last year? That's my question with that. And then also, man, the ribs look smacking, but how dirty are you going to want to get in between, your houses?
Dude, heavy stomach after all that.
Yeah.
Because like Horror Nights is a lot of standing and walking. Like that's what you do.
A lot.
So it's almost like you got to stay light on your feet, when you're eating. Unless you're done for the day, you do whatever you want. But
go balls. Yeah, for sure. Let me pull up another post that you have. This is the Mummy Eats. So obviously they decorated it, which is kind of nice. I'm glad they did that. So for me personally, I'm looking at this menu right now. I am a huge fish and chips guy. So I'm interested in that fish and chips. What about you guys?
Same.
I've never seen them sell fish and chips there, so I'm like, I want to try it. I would try it. Why not?
So top food at Universal for me is at Three Broomsticks. It's the fish and chips.
Yeah. Three Broomsticks.
Yeah.
I love Three Broomsticks. It's so good.
A cold butter beer on a hot day, dude. I'm soaked in, bro. Oh my god.
I don't know how this one's gonna hit. Like, I think this is just hey, we have something else because the weekend bar is like 2 hours, so try this place.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt. Because the weekend bar, see, that's one good thing I could say with any bar that has gone up there. At least they have a general admission bar, but they also have an RIP bar. So the RIP bar is not packed. So if you're doing RIP, you want to do a review, you're not slammed with 500 people trying to cram in one little space.
And it's almost like you get another lounge to RIP. You know, you got Moulin Rouge, and technically you have the Weekend Bar now.
Yeah. So this is another one. This is in the plaza. So out of this, I'm looking at this because this kind of looks like Mexican food to me, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And one thing that kind of pops out to me is, oh man, I think the carne asada nachos. That's popping to me.
Those sound fire. Those do look fire. I mean, the birria always, you know, those tacos. If I don't know what kind of consomme it's going to be, if it's just regular, it says red, so I'm sure that's a regular, right?
Looks like it.
Yeah, and then man, those pineapple spears with chamoy, that's probably going to go crazy. But how much is it?
Yeah, I had those a couple times. It hits the spot.
Really?
The plaza is just a chill area, so that's just chill. Get some food and chill.
See, one of the things I do respect John Murdy and Universal for doing is that plaza. Like last year, I noticed you're having all this. How can I put it? Like adult entertainment with, you know, the bar, the little food stands, but you also have scare actors roaming around that area, so you're kind of getting the full experience.
Yeah, I like how they did that. The La Llorona, like Dia de los Muertos people too.
Yeah,
that was fun. I had to get a picture with her.
Yeah,
she was rocking.
I still wish they would go back to 2019 Conductor when they had like opening ceremony actors in the plaza, so you could take photos with them. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do remember that.
Dude, that was like the last year they did it. We never saw it again.
That in the, what was it, 2018 or 2017 with the Metro sets?
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah, Metro sets have to come back. I'm sorry, but they need to come back.
So much cool stuff comes from Metro sets.
And Tommy, you've never done the Metro sets, but I could tell you. So
you would love it, Tommy. It's just it just makes the event so much bigger, and then it just allows them to do more. More HHN is always good.
Always.
Without a doubt. I think at one time, if I'm not mistaken, Mondo, didn't they have 4 houses on the Metro set?
Yeah, it was Frankenstein meets Wolfman, Ghostbusters, Creep Show.
Creep Show, man.
And I don't think it was 4 houses. I think it was All Hallows Evil Scare Zone that felt like a house. Yeah. It was. So it was like, it was 3 houses and then like a big ass walking scare zone.
Oh, without a doubt, dude. I'm telling you.
And Toxic Tunnel.
Toxic Tunnel. So Tommy,
that goes crazy, man. I like that.
Toxic Tunnel. You walk through, and so you're walking alongside. So as you're going into the Metro sets, that's the entrance, and then coming back, you're on the other side. But they have scare actors running up and down, freaking flashing lights, different colors, music blaring. But I have to tell you, if you have a headache, don't go through that, because you'll get a migraine real quick, because it's loud. It's very loud. One of the houses that I liked was Krampus, dude. Krampus.
No, I never got to do it. I've seen the walkthroughs. I've heard about it.
Mondo, you missed out, bro.
Dude.
The shit, dude. It was God, dude.
I feel like every time Krampus gets brought up, everybody could smell it. Like everybody in your mind, you could smell that house, like in a good way.
Dude, me and Andre, so we did early entry, right? And we ran down there. We ran through the damn toxic. We ran over there, and we must have did that house 5 times before the crowds. We were back to back, dude. It was fire.
Yeah, but, dude, I hope I could do that with Texas this year, like 3 times in a row somehow.
Oh, dude, it felt so amazing because it was just me and him in the house by ourselves with all these monsters, dude. It was like, oh my God, it was incredible without a doubt. Another thing I want to pull up is, okay, so this right here, this is the Chucky area. So let me, there we go. What did you think about this area being used for Chucky, Mondo?
I think it's good. It's a great way to bring people there because Peacock Bar had no chance. Ain't nobody trying to get a drink at Peacock Bar. And I feel like having Chucky like as the face of this, people are more willing to be like, "Here's my $20 for this drink."
Exactly. I do have to say though, Tommy did post on his Twitter, or was it your Instagram, Tommy, the Bride of Frankenstein scare actor? He did propose to her.
Oh man, yeah, I got denied though. Yeah, I proposed to her. She was feeling it, but I don't know. I'll eventually.
Like, I'm married to Frankenstein.
I know, right? That's what I'm saying. Well, I'm already 0 for 2. I proposed to Princess Peach too.
Yeah, he did that. Dude, I swear to God, Mondo. So this was the opening weekend, right? So me and Tommy were there. You were there opening day because you were in the media section when they were, doing the little ceremony before they let everyone in. I don't know if it was the first day or the second day we were there, and I kid you the freak not, there was a crowd because everyone wants to meet Peach, Mario, and Luigi. There was a crowd around Peach, and as soon as he did that, everyone's cheering, laughing. Dude, it was so funny, bro.
Good,
funny. God, dude. But one thing I wanted to bring up that we talked about in the pre-show before we got started is literally right across from this is the Hollywood and Dine. And last year it was Chucky's Barbecue. But from updates that I've seen as of today from JP Land, from a couple other YouTubers, Crystal and Chris, there's nothing decorated for the Hollywood and Dine. And if I'm not mistaken, if I saw it correctly, they still have the 60th anniversary food options on their little billboards there. Do you guys think they're going to try to slap something on last minute, or do you think it's just not going to be used this year?
I have a feeling it might just stay the 60th because it was just such an important thing for Universal. I don't want it to be that. I'd rather have it be Chucky's. If we're gonna have, anytime it's more Horror Night theming, but I have a feeling they might just keep it 60th.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe they could pull it out and do Ghostbusters, but why would they hold that back last minute? I'm trying to think of something they wouldn't want to spoil, but it wouldn't be Ghostbusters.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to me because it seems like this year. Don't get me wrong, with the announcements up to this moment are fire, and I'm not giving any criticism whatsoever on the announcements. It just kind of feels like they're doing it like last minute. Like even all the merch for HHN has not dropped yet, and we're only 7 days away from the general admission going and starting this event, and we don't have that. We don't have several other things. We literally just got an announcement this morning about the Chucky show happening at the DreamWorks Theater, and I want to dive into that actually. So the Chucky show, and it seems like it's going to be a talk show. What do you think we can possibly see from that? Because I don't know if it's going to be all screen based, if they're going to have like an actual show like they did with Megan, where there was a little bit of screen, but then there were dancers dancing around. What do you think is going to happen with that?
What do you think, Tommy?
So I think he's going to be, it's almost going to be like a comedy show, or not a ventriloquist, but he's going to maybe have like a stool on that stage. He's going to be standing there. Of course, there's going to be stuff on the screen. I don't know when or how they would prep it. I don't think they're going to have like dancing Chuckies though, right. So like,
I heard there will be women performers. That's what I have heard. So I don't know how that comes into play of all this.
I wonder if they're going to play the bride of Chucky.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
That would be solid.
Maybe
because Bride of Chucky has been on Horror Night merch.
Yes.
They had like
And
like a coaster. I saw it on a coaster, but it said Horror Nights 2024.
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, and then they have the Bride of Chucky as one of the dolls in the studio store now. I saw that yesterday, like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Good catch. So, is this going to be though the Chucky from the Sci-Fi Network, or is it like the Child's Play Chucky?
I'm gonna say sci-fi because they're
Yeah.
always trying to relate it to Peacock.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Oh, right. It's Peacock. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somehow or some way, they're probably going to do that without a doubt. Another thing I wanted to ask you was, how can I put it, with the Scarecrow scare zone. I want to start with that because you saw the announcement at Midsummer Scream Mondo with a new character being introduced to that scare zone. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think I could have sworn John referenced her to as like Mother.
Yeah,
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we're at 4. It's either 3 or 4 scarecrows now that are stilt walkers. Dude, I'm so like the fact that we get the more stilt walkers, the better, man. I love stilt walkers at Horror Nights, especially in scare zones. I think I love how like they could have easily stopped at 2 scarecrow stilt walkers, but John's like, no, we need more. Because those actors must not that can't be like an easy role to find, you know what I mean?
Wow.
And I'm excited, dude. And it does seem like scarecrow scare actors are gonna come from the maze because they were they look like that on the walls. Like they had like kind of marketing on the construction walls of Fast and Furious, and their mask and stuff look really reminiscent of the scarecrow maze we had 2 years ago, or 2 years ago.
Yeah. You know, it's going to be very interesting. We had them, I think, last year in that little parking lot behind Curious George as well for 2 houses that were back there last year. And I was telling Tommy like 2 weeks ago when I talked to him on the phone was I actually saw one of those guys fall. Like fall. He tripped and fall. So you can imagine, like you said, how difficult it is to find actors that are willing to be on stilts for hours on end doing that. It's, with the crowd flow, it must be a hard task. It must be a hard task.
That's going to be a congested area too, where the scare zone's at this year with the stilt walkers.
Yeah, because you got the. It's basically like a entry point because you got Harry Potter right there, which people are going to be going into to get to the 2 houses in the behind Curious George. You got the other way, which is going towards the lower lot and the Terror Tram. You got the other way, which is heading towards the Luchadora Scare Zone and Monstros 2. Then you got the plaza right there. So that alone is going to be just a nightmare. And then you got the construction wall for the Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift wall right there. And shout out to Universal for decorating that wall for Halloween Horror Nights. I thought that was pretty awesome of them to do that. So that was pretty cool.
So for both of y'all, for the viewers, opening ceremony and chainsaw chase out, what's more important? Are they both equal? Are you gonna leave your early entry location to go see opening ceremony?
Yeah, I love opening ceremony. I always try to catch the first one if I can, like of the year. And then I try my best to make it to Chainsaw Chase Out, the first one of the year. Because I don't really watch too many Chainsaw Chase Outs. It's usually the first and the last. But it's really cool that they're doing opening ceremony multiple times a night. Like, I think that's badass.
Yeah.
One thing I heard, there's this prop that's in the plaza right now, and I posted a picture about it like a couple days ago on Twitter, that they're going to use that prop in the opening ceremony.
Really?
Yeah, like if you go, I feel like I've tweeted a lot lately.
Yeah, you have. I'll try to find it. And
Yeah,
shout it.
it's like a Skull Lord's prop. Yeah, it was like 2 days ago, I think.
Yeah, you definitely posted a lot of content, so it might take me a minute.
It's just because I did all those walkthrough stuff.
Yeah.
While we're waiting,
I'm really glad I image protected those because a lot of people were pissed off that they were getting spoiled.
Yeah.
I mean, they're spoiled everywhere.
It's this
Everybody's
day right
posting
here.
it.
If you keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Get in there. A lot of dude. I have to say.
Yeah, that's the one, Tommy, right there. That's the Scarecrow shirt.
That's fire. That's
yeah,
fire.
It is badass.
That's going hard, bro.
I'm getting that shirt.
Nice.
Yeah, that was the first one. I was like, I'm buying that.
That's nice.
Ghostbusters, maybe.
I know. I'm waiting right there. There it is. That is part of opening ceremony.
So they wheel it out?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know, dude.
Man, the fire's going to be shooting up, and they're going to be like in the middle of the queen and the king?
Yeah.
Dude.
Because they used to put props in the middle of the fire tower area back in the day. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not like it's something weird that they haven't done, but I heard that is well, obviously it says Skull Lords, but I heard it's going to be part of the opening ceremony, which I don't even know why or how, but that's what I heard.
That looks dope as shit.
Like an angel.
A joke about that.
Demon thing.
Dude. Oh my God, dude. That thing looks fire. Wow.
So, any news on the Quiet Place house? Like, are we getting earbuds, or are we going to hear people screaming because it's silent? That's the hard part.
I don't know. I have a friend who just messaged me right now because he was telling me he's like there was a lot of brides in the Eternal Bloodline house. He's in Florida right now. He says, I would say that it was beautiful house. Unfortunately, during our run, it needed more scare actors, but with the right amount of them, the house could easily be top 5. Insidious, though, is the one to beat this year. That's what he said. Damn.
The last key.
Yeah,
that one's going.
He's
going
saying
hard.
Insidious was like nuts.
See,
I'm pumped.
That's one thing I want to bring up as well, because you and me, Mondo, I think it was. I forgot what year it was, but it was in the extended queue of Jurassic. I think it was still Jurassic World at the time. They had that house, and I kind of feel that they kind of shortchanged that house. Only reason
that house sucked. It sucked.
Yeah, it was a
black walls,
dude. Dead. I told Andre that night, the first night I went through it with him. I actually walked into one of those black walls. I'm not even kidding. And the whole damn black wall.
That happened to me in Ghostbusters. Like, I legit walked into a black wall because sometimes it gets so dark you can't see.
Yeah. Dude, I literally smacked my face. I'm like, God. And, of course, the team member was right there. So they asked, are you okay? Yeah, it'd be okay if there was actually light here so I could see what the hell.
Guide me the other way, huh?
Exactly. Use your little red wand that you have and kind of get me away from that wall. But the whole thing shook because I could see it because it was still kind of like light outside. It wasn't completely dark. And I just saw the whole wall do this. I'm like, oh, shit. Am I going to be the cause of this house going down or what? That was bad. But your friend was saying in Orlando, Insidious was like fire this year.
It was the best. They say it's the best one. It's the top house.
Shit. Wow.
I feel like Insidious has a chance to be a top contender in our Hollywood, just because they have the ability to use all these monsters. Like, it's not strictly one house, or one movie. Because the Red Door movie sucked. I don't know if you guys saw it. I thought it sucked, dude. It was so
dry. Extra dry, yeah.
and it was like a movie where, like, the monster would come out, and it was almost like, I'm going to kill you. and I'm gonna go really slow though, and then nothing happens. I'm like, what is this movie?
The Last Key though, the Last Key is fire.
Yeah,
I like that one.
Yeah,
that was good.
And one thing I'm hoping this year too, because the facade, because we can kind of see it a very like couple seconds at most on the studio tour. Me and you, Mondo, know what we're talking about. But the facade itself looks like they really spent some detail into that. The facade looks incredible.
It looks like it could be a movie prop, like a movie setting. Yeah. Dude, our facades this year are beautiful, man.
They're dope.
Beautiful facades.
They're dope.
And it's wild because, like, the year after the pandemic, that was a big complaint, was the facades.
Yeah.
That's one thing, too, since we're talking about black walls.
Yeah.
Monstros and Dead Exposure, 0 black walls. 0.
Really?
No.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that. I think I mentioned it in the video I did, but it's really cool to see no black walls. Like John Murdy and the team was listening.
That's perfect.
Yeah, and I remember last year when I did the behind the scenes with John Murdy.
Yeah.
I brought it up to him. I was like, "There's no black walls." He's like, "Yeah, we made it a conscious effort if we have a blank wall to theme that shit." That's what he told me. You theme that wall. I don't care. You theme that wall.
Yeah.
Even if it really doesn't have nothing, you theme it to this.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't want black walls. They HHN is just they went above and beyond this year, dude. I could just imagine what the other houses look like, but just from Dead Exposure, Monstros, they brought it, man. Everything themed, everything.
Oh, that's good. Because I'm telling you right now, I was just telling Tommy earlier, I said, you know what? I think my number one at this point, without going through any of the houses, would probably be Dead Exposure. Only reason being because it's been an Orlando-based property for so long. Hollywood's never had it. And the facade itself looks absolutely incredible. And from what you just described of having black walls and the fact that everybody would have to go through it multiple times to capture almost every single detail means that they went hard on that house without a doubt.
They did, man. And I saw the clean version of it, so I'm really excited to see what a bloody, all the detail like Dead Exposure is going to look like.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm going to actually be looking out for your tweets or your YouTube channel coming up, because you said you're going to be back at Universal to capture a little more updates. And one of the updates I saw from Twitter, I forgot who it was. It looks like on the studio tour, they were painting the Hollywood sign, the miniature one, in blood.
Yeah, bring up SoCalorific on Instagram.
Okay.
Instagram. She caught it. That's when I was like, dude, they're even theming the Hollywood sign. Like,
let me
are
see
you
if
kidding
I can
me?
get Instagram. I don't know if I can. Let me try it. You know what, Mondo? If you pull it up on your screen, let me know, and I'll share the screen, because I might have issues trying to do it. So let me give it a shot.
Let me see if I could send you. I could send it to you on Twitter.
Yeah, do that, and then I'll pull it up.
Yeah, dude, it looks badass. I was like, man, they're going all out.
Well, see, it makes me wonder too if that. How can I put it? If they didn't actually paint the red blood on the sign, but they had a sign already painted and they swapped it out just for the.
I sent it to you a DM on Twitter.
Okay, let me look for that.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. And this is a video, right?
Yeah, it's a video. So calorific. There you go.
Dude.
Yeah, so badass. So they're doing that to the sign. That lets me to believe that's a photo op. That's a photo op.
It has to be.
Why would you do that to not be a photo op? You know what I mean?
Dude, that is... Oh, my God, dude. That is dope as shit. Well, that explains why in that section where they had like their version of the mini prop plaza, they kept that railing system where they had for the photo op for the sign.
Yeah.
Makes sense why they didn't take that out and they left it. That makes a lot of sense. Dude, that I have to
It's
say
so
that
cool. It's
looks
freaking
so
cool, man. We lost Tommy.
Uh-oh. Let me see if I can get him back, or he might have disappeared for a minute. He'll try to rejoin. Yeah, he might have just disappeared for just a second. Well, since it's just me and you, I wanted to ask you about what I want to ask you about. Okay, the RIP section of the studio or the Terror Tram.
Yeah, what are your thoughts? I want to hear your thoughts on that.
Dude, okay.
We're talking about the Nope section.
Yeah, that little gated area. I don't know. When they had it the first time, I don't know if I was impressed by that.
You're talking about the Us where they like stabbed the person?
Yeah, that was kind of like, okay, what the hell am I watching here?
It was too random, right? It was too random.
I did like last year when I did.
I didn't get to do that one with the grabber, right?
Yeah, dude. So you walk down. So you walk through the exit of Jupiter's Claim. You make a right, and then they must have moved some Universal construction vehicles, and they had a whole setup with a backdrop. They had the grabber, and they had his van.
Yeah,
dude, it was a whole. It was awesome, bro.
And it was cool that you still got to take a photo with him and the van, because one thing about Horror Nights, you can't take any photos with actors. It's just like not a normal thing out here.
Yeah, without a doubt, it was very good.
Oh my god!
Since RIP is gonna be the Nope section, do you think they like paywall some Blumhouse characters in there? Like, and what I'm trying to reference, do you think we get Michael Myers in there only?
So that's kind of what I wanted to ask you next. Since they're basing how can I put it? They're basing the Terror Tram on Blumhouse, and they have all these different characters from Blumhouse, movies. Do you think we might have one scare actor that's Michael Myers, or you don't think that's possible?
I think they're going to do it. That's what I think.
Should do it. Hell.
Yeah. I don't know how it makes sense, but it's Blumhouse Terror Tram. Enter the Blumhouse,
Yeah. It would be, okay, this would break the internet if they had FNAF characters walking around. You imagine that shit?
Yeah, dude. A lot of people would buy RIP just for that zone.
Just to do that. Dude, that would be fire as fire, dude.
And it was also rumored that werewolf from the new movie, that they're gonna have a werewolf in Enter the Blumhouse, or in the Nope section.
Dude,
it was supposed to be a werewolf in Florida, but the actor wasn't there today, so I guess he'll debut tomorrow.
Well, hopefully someone gets a video of it. That's one spoiler I'm willing to break the bond with. I'm willing to see that online because I'm very curious how they do that.
Yeah.
Very curious.
It's kind of weird, or not weird. I won't say weird. It's kind of like surprising how heavy they're investing in Megan. Megan's like, they're like bringing her to life as much as they can.
Yeah.
Do you think she gets a house next year? That's the next step, right?
Well, when's the movie come out?
Exactly. That's what I was going to ask.
Movie comes out in May, I believe, May or June.
Yeah.
Maybe. That's maybe. I personally, I'm going to be really honest with you. If I had to choose between Megan and FNAF, it would be FNAF.
Oh, without a doubt.
Off top.
I want a FNAF house. I can promise you both right now, if John Murdy at Midsummer Scream, bro, I'm not even joking. If he came out and he said FNAF, I kid you the freak not, the entire month for every single ticket for 2025, sold out.
Yeah.
That will happen. I can promise you that.
People want FNAF, dude. They want it.
Dude, you imagine the merch that would come out for that?
Yeah, the hoodies sold out instantly.
Yeah.
Imagine they do a popcorn bucket of like any of the characters, sold out.
Dude, that would be dope as shit, dude. Hey, so I wanted to ask you, because I think you and Junior talked about it a little bit a while back, right after Midsummer Scream. What did you think about Slash coming out with his own album? Just lost it again.
I think it's great. It's a great move. I feel like people have wanted like an official album from Slash related to HHN. I think it was Theme Park Duo posted it like out of the sleeve. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
It's $60. It ain't cheap, but hey, Slash making music for Horror Nights is a good thing. We want that. So it's a good thing to support.
Yeah.
You think he'll show up?
Yeah, I feel like Slash always comes to Horror Nights.
Yeah.
I feel like he does, at least once.
Man, do you like wrestling?
Yeah, I love wrestling.
Did you see Chris Jericho goes all the time too? Huh? We got to catch him.
He was there. I feel like on opening day last year or 2 years ago, he did the red carpet that like Horror Nights sets up.
So that's one thing about getting the RIP tour first day, first time. We don't see the red carpet.
Yeah.
You got to pick and choose, huh?
I've never really got a chance to see red carpet because I want to be in the ceremony, man.
Yeah.
I just want to be surrounded by the fans, everybody going fucking crazy. Like I just love being in the crowd of like, and we're all here for the same thing, Horror Nights, you know.
Yeah. So Mondo, I want to pick your brain for a second. I saw on Twitter, I don't know if you saw it as well. There's a rumor going around that the Simpsons land in Orlando is going to be ripped out next year. That was the floating rumor that's happening. If that's true, do you think we could be facing the same thing here in Hollywood? Or what do you think about that?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
I ever since Disney got Simpsons, I feel like it really tainted it. It's like a tainted property now for Universal. I feel like the Hollywood crowd welcomes a change there.
Sure.
And for me personally, I think that ride system, it's got to go. It's not the most comfortable thing to ride, and it's just like I don't need to do that ride.
No, it's not.
How do you feel about it, Tommy, with the Simpsons?
So I would love a Treehouse of Horror type, but they're not going to put them in costumes. I feel like Universal really doesn't cash out too much on the costumes for people that dress up in outfits. I'm kind of tired of the carnival area. It's kind of look weird with Fast and Furious 2. I know it's not here yet. I'm cool with them putting a different IP there, but I'm also cool with them just expanding, the inner part of the walkway of Universal and maybe having some more like Universal dedication. Like, I'm not sure. I know that's more or less towards Mel's Diner and stuff, but I'll take whatever. I love The Simpsons. I do have to admit, I love that store because, if you're a fan, they have everything you want.
Yeah. Well, Krusty Burger, Moe's Tavern, such good theming, especially if you go upstairs at Krusty Burger.
Yeah.
It's like a Simpsons dream in there.
Yeah.
Even Luigi's Pizza and the Duff bar area, it's really great for the space they had. They utilized it extremely well. But I'm ready to move on. We're seeing all that shit coming to Epic. We need some of that stuff over here.
Yeah.
It's
so funny you mentioned that.
We need Dark Universe, man.
Yes, we need
Universal Monsters started over here, not in Florida.
Yeah. Okay, so I wanted to ask you both. I'm kind of thinking in my mind because I've done several videos with Orange Go 55, great friend of the channel. He's a great friend of yours, Mondo. Great friend of Tommy.
And the Italiano.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to him and George the Italiano. One of the videos I did with him pretty recently was talking about, and I even had Universal High last week on
yeah, I saw that, dude. That was cool. I don't even know what he sounded like or looks like. I have no idea.
Yeah. So we were talking about it, and one of the things was we were discussing why, you know, I get Epic Universe was opening, they're building a new theme park out there, but I don't get why we couldn't get Universal Monsters here first. It was born in Hollywood. Why Orlando first?
So, you guys, what do you think we're getting first now that we're talking about that? Are we getting Epic Universe first or Horror Unleashed in Vegas?
Ooh.
I think Epic Universe, because they're already casting and Epic Universe is just it's like a dream come true for theme park fans, man.
And they're already having the local media kind of tour some sections of the park, no?
Yeah, dude, what I heard is that they're gonna have media people like visit lands soon.
Wow.
So it's not done, but like, hey, they have people creating content off the land. Maybe even like foods and whatever. Because, dude, everything Epic Universe is just viral. Yeah. Like, I remember when we got like the sighting of the flying dragon.
Dude,
somebody on Instagram like posted the video from Twitter and got like 10 million views in like 2 days. I was like, what the freak?
Yeah.
That's just the dragon. Like, we're not even talking about everything in the park is viral, dude. Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Donkey Kong's going crazy.
Yeah, dude. Donkey Kong. Oh my gosh.
Good.
Yeah, dude. I don't know how Disney could compete from like a social media perspective. It's gonna take a long time before Cars and Villains Land and whatever the hell else they're trying to do. There's no clapback to Universal for at least like 5 years.
No. And see, one of the things I talked to OG about and George was the fact that, you know, D23, Josh Tomorrow, or as they like to call him, Daddy Josh, blew up D23. Like, the announcements were just one right after the next. He was just going hard. Mondo, I was watching your live stream and it was fantastic. The announcements were fantastic, but
it just never ended.
No, it just kept going and going. But one thing I can point out is Twitter. There's like a split between the good and the ugly. And what I mean by that is the rivers of America. It's like a sore subject out there. And I kind of feel like I've talked about it numerous of times. I don't know what your thoughts about it are, but how I feel is it's like you can't compare your Tom Sawyer's Island to the one at Disneyland. Disneyland version has too much history to it. Yours is
I have one simplification of Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
Magic Kingdom is Disney California Adventure. And until like people accept that, they're gonna be angry. Yeah. That's what Magic Kingdom is. It's California Adventure. And it is what it is. Like there's no history like Disneyland is like very historical. Walt, you know, there's a lot more meaning to things. I feel like for Magic Kingdom, or not even Magic Kingdom, but just Walt Disney World has to respond to Epic. There's just and these are the losses that have to happen. It is what it is. It's very sad that they're losing that body of water and the tranquility of it all.
Sure.
But they have to put people in hotel rooms or nobody's making money. So and Cars is for sure going to make money. Villains Land is going to make a lot of money. So I get why they're doing that in Florida. Florida doesn't have this like humongous local, like where they don't have to worry about people traveling. No, they have to have people travel. That's the whole business. That's their whole enterprise over there in Florida. It's like people have to have a reason to travel there. And Rivers of America, you know, like when's the last time you heard somebody like, I can't wait to get on the Liberty Bell and head on over to Tom Sawyer Island. You know, that's what I really want to. Can't wait to go take a picture over there.
Yeah, exactly.
It just doesn't happen, but it is sad. Like I will not ever say that it's not sad because it is.
Sure.
But maybe they have something up their sleeve. Maybe a big body of water is coming to Villains Land, or maybe Autopia finally gets kicked out and a body of water ends up over there. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think they have something in store because having a Magic Kingdom not have a body of water is going to be a little weird for a long time.
Oh, for sure. And I wanted to ask you too. So since they're building a Villains Land, obviously that's a direct response to Universal with their Dark Universe. How do you think that's going to play out?
It's a great competition. Maleficent coaster, themed restaurants to Villains, the whole Villains vibe and the dark aspect of it all. It's really good. People go. Supposedly, the biggest roar in the building was for Villains Lands, and just seeing it from a social media perspective too. Villains Land went pretty damn viral. Like that announcement video of Josh.
Yeah. Because I remember watching your live stream and Danny was coming out of the Honda Center and he got actually cut off a couple times. And he was even saying, if I'm not mistaken, when that got announced in the Honda Center, the building, from what I took it as, the building almost like was shaking because
people erupted. Just erupted. You know, I was very skeptical about a Villains Land, but it being kind of more adult, that really intrigues me a whole lot more. Like they're not really trying to appease the kids in Villains Land, and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah. So, in retrospect, it looks like obviously Dark Universe and Epic Universe is going to open first. Obviously, we probably won't see Villains Land open until at least 2028, maybe 2029. If tomorrow keeps his word about the 5-year plan. But one thing I can say that Epic Universe kind of set themselves up for success once Villains Land opens up. And Epic Universe with Dark Universe has been open for several years. They have expansion slots behind each land at Epic Universe, so they can add more to Dark Universe once Villains Lands opens up. So they can still keep relevant.
Yeah, I think so. I'm pumped for the Vegas one. I want to hear about. No one talks about the Unleashed, Horror Unleashed. I'm trying to be there opening day.
I think by the time Villains Land comes, maybe Epic is like, well, we're expanding too. We're gonna add to Nintendo. We're gonna add to Epic. You know what I mean? So like, I feel like Epic Universe is a great. It's just a great addition to United States theme parks.
Yeah, without a doubt. And one thing I wanted to point out was that if since we're looking at the map right now of the Simpsons area, obviously from what we can see here, we got the Simpsons right here, this whole area. Obviously, Google Maps takes forever to update their maps, and it's annoying. But these two buildings are where the coaster's going. Then you got down here, which is Harry Potter. You know, with the Simpsons Land going, do you see them expanding Harry Potter, Mondo?
Man, I just want I want Hagrid's or just another interpretation of Hagrid's. It's so good.
I want that. Good. So here's my thinking of it, and I talked to Universal High about this. So what I'm thinking is, because if you look right here where the blue tents are, that's currently where the tram load and unload area is at the moment. But from what we heard from Theme Park Wizard, shout out to him with the permits. I call him the GOAT of permits when it comes to the theme parks because he's on top of it. Is that the studio tour load and unload area is getting relocated behind the Mummy. So that hillside's going to be carved out for the studio tour. and the studio tour, as we see right now, is going to be relocated and it's going to be gone. One thing I brought up was, why don't they build the Hogwarts Express in this location and use that to transport guests all the way down to this area here, which is the Falls Lake area, and you got Jupiter's Claim? Because I think, Mondo, you talked about it on one of your live streams with Danny, or you might have just done a video solo where you were talking about Jupiter's Claim is not staying there forever. It was supposed to be a temporary thing for maybe a year or two.
I know. I'm shocked it's still here, honestly. Yeah. I would love for that to be theme park expansion. It'd be so badass. The real question is that I always bring this up. We're not going to see nothing badass like that until a hotel gets announced, because it's been up in the air that Universal is thinking about a hotel, and I feel like once the hotel gets announced, the follow-ups are going to be some cool badass stuff like you're talking about.
Yeah,
but we have to wait for the hotel. I think the hotel's the enabler of everything.
So it's funny, and Theme Park Wizard is watching right now. Thank you, Wizard. Again, he's been on top of the permits. I talked to him not too long ago, and he mentioned that they are in the final stages of permits, paperwork, permissions, all that. And we might see construction happening either at the end of 2024 or early 2025 for the hotel. And we could see that hotel built, open, and ready for guests by 2027. That is what I'm hearing from Wizard at this moment.
Dude, a hotel is, because like when I think of hotel and Universal, I think of like, well, now they're trying to make this a 2-day kind of visit, a 3-day kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because like trying to bring a hotel for like a 1-day experience, I don't know, that's a tough sell. But hey, you're trying to all of a sudden create a 2-3-day theme park. Well, what are the cool stuff coming? Because I'm excited now.
well, see, it also ties into too with the holiday events at the park. HHN being one of the biggest ones out of all of them, and Grinchmas, of course, but HHN for sure. I'm without a doubt for sure that when the hotel's built, they're going to offer packages where, if you buy for a weekend or something, you can get discounts for HHN or for Grinch. It's all going to tie into one. I see it happening, so building a hotel is, especially for Hollywood, it's going to be a benefactor without a doubt. Because I could tell you firsthand, staying at the Hilton or the Sheraton that's literally right out of view of this angle, they're expensive. I'm not going to say they're super
like 300, 500 a night.
Yeah.
And you got to pay $30-$40 for your car to park there.
So it's 45 as we speak.
Oh my God.
45. And I'm staying there for 2 nights and I'm like dying right now. I'm like, God.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, and then Wizard actually just reminded me as well. So with the hotel being in this location, as you guys are looking at it, security is going to move. And security is going to be relocated to the parking structures, which means also City Walk is going to be enclosed, where you can't access City Walk unless you're parking at the parking structures walking in, which is going to make, obviously, City Walk a lot safer, which means a lot more retail entertainment might come back to City Walk, like a nightclub or something in that aspect. Obviously, we're getting escape rooms at the old Sombra location, which is very exciting.
Yeah.
My only beef with that is I just don't think it shouldn't win in that spot. It shouldn't be relocated to a different spot. And I kind of feel, because that section of City Walk is kind of dead, in a way
I know
would
they're like, let's make it deader because escape rooms, it's very quiet. Everything's indoors. You don't really see what's happening at all.
See, that's why I propose, why don't we get a version of Red Coconut Club? You see how hard
I know we needed something like that, dude. Energy, new food, drinks, like a nightlife aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't want to do it. You know one thing that's funny too. Just recently we saw Twosome Emporium sell like all their merch for like 90% off or something.
Yes.
And they're gonna just extend it to like a bar. I have a feeling, this is just my hunch. Twosome Emporium's not doing what they thought it was gonna do money wise, in like a negative way.
Yeah.
I don't want to eat there. I'm not in the mood for a shake. I don't have any complaints for the foods and stuff like that, but I don't know. It's a tough sell.
Yeah, it definitely is. Again, you have to have the appetite for it. It's kind of like Din Tai Fung at Downtown Disney. If you're not in the mood for Asian food, then it's kind of like, okay, well, I'm gonna skip that. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, do I want Asian food? Not really. It's kind of based on.
I mean, Toothsome has its niche. If you want some sweet stuff, for sure. I got a buddy that works there. It's pretty solid for what it is, but they had it in Florida on the East Coast first, right? So maybe they thought it would be better over here, or they thought they should bring it over here.
Sure.
You know what I think would help Twosome a lot? If they had quick service. Like you could just mobile order a meal and keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would help out a lot because I don't know. It's just in a weird spot. That's what I want to say. Like if they would have put that thing where at the exit area of Universal, it would hit really good.
Yeah. Like where
you're like
LA
exiting
Dodgers
into that restaurant,
The
Remember when they had the Saddle Ranch? The Saddle Ranch?
Yeah.
Oh, right there.
They shouldn't have built that. That one they built, dude.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't have kept Hard Rock. And had in there, dude.
I like the Hard Rock. They had good burgers and Margaritaville is still a sleeper hit though. I like Margaritaville.
What do you think about the NBC grill? Do you like that?
Dude, I love it. Yeah, I have no complaints about that. It's really fun to be there. We were watching football a couple times. They have a great happy hour. I need to post about that one day. They have a good happy hour.
They do.
Have you guys ever been to NBC Sports Grill?
Yeah.
Me and him rolled up there. I got the salmon, the fish. I forgot. What did you get, bro?
I think I had like a bacon burger or something like that.
Yeah, I had that too, dude. It's good.
I was not disappointed.
How is the salmon, Tommy? Is it good?
The salmon was pretty good. It came out on a wood plank. You know what I mean? It was a little pricey, but man, I was heading out that next day. So it was all good.
And I do have to tell you that the benefactor for that was during the Olympics, like at certain like Olympic events, that place was packed.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah, that place was packed without a doubt. One other thing I want to get to before we jump to DCA, because I want to talk about the red car trolley for a little bit, was besides Universal Monsters, what Nintendo property, Mondo, would you like to see come to Hollywood? I know what mine would be, but what would you like to see?
I think that the game changer would be Pokemon. If Pokemon came to Universal Studios Hollywood, I don't even know how Disney responds to that. There is no response.
No.
Pokemon has a fan base from like a 2-year-old to 80-year-olds. And I feel like it's still as strong as it's ever been. Pokemon would be insane in a theme park experience.
Yeah.
Especially if we could get a dark ride to it. Oh my gosh. It'd be and I keep trying to wonder what kind of like system would be a good for like a good like tool to use for a dark ride. I would just go boat ride, do a high capacity boat ride with a ton of animatronics, great music, and have Pokemon like use their powers. It'd be sick.
Dude,
That would be sick. Like evolving too, right there.
Yeah, like you know how they do that Beauty and the Beast in Tokyo or Japan?
Yeah.
Dude, imagine we got like a Charizard evolving or like a Pikachu to Raichu evolving like that.
Oh my god.
People would just be like, what did I watch? What did I watch?
Oh, dude.
That'd be insane.
Hollywood would get so much foot traffic. I would.
Yeah, imagine they also created to like a safari zone or something, you know, like to play Pokemon Go or whatever.
And that's the tram, like a tram tour, a mini tram tour.
Dude,
that would be crazy.
Oh my god.
Dude, it could go hard. Pokemon would go so hard in a theme park setting, man.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I wanted to ask you, Mondo, real quick, since we're looking at this picture. Obviously, the mummy has been rumored to be torn out and removed. Do you think that could be a Nintendo property, or do you think it might be an extension of Jurassic World?
I think it's neither. I think it's they're gonna move the tram entrance and loading to Mummy.
Okay.
I've heard that rumor many times, and you know the studio tour was at the lower lot back in the day.
It was.
Yeah, I would love for Jurassic to keep expanding, give us some of that Beijing technology.
Dude, I saw that ride, and I kid you the freak not, I almost passed out.
I can't believe there's an Indominus chasing you in a theme park.
Right.
Like, what the hell? That's
crazy.
Dude, it was so cool because you got screen based, but it seemed like you were more immersed with actual props.
Yeah, physical. Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
I wish we could get something like that, but I've heard it's going to be the studio tour coming back to the lower lot, which then allows an expansion on the upper lot of Simpsons to studio tour loading, studio tour maintenance into supercharged area.
Yeah,
this is all speculation, but that's just what I've heard. That they're trying to go that route. But yeah, I go at the same time too that Simpsons is probably not long for this world. And I don't think Mummy's long for this world either. We're about to have the most badass ride with Fast and Furious, dude. Fast and Furious is just, it's going to allow them to close Mummy, in my opinion.
Yeah. I personally, for me, I think what they're going to do, and this is just my opinion, I think what's going to happen is they're going to open Fast and Furious. They're going to close the Mummy. They're going to keep the Simpsons ride open, just so it's another ride, but everything around it is going to be stripped.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
I have heard Luigi's Pizza and that Duff beer area is not long for this world because it's just going to get eaten up by Fast and Furious soon.
Yeah, because it's not going to make sense.
Yeah.
It's not relevant. So it's very.
Would you guys take a Toretto's garage with a tuna sandwich?
Dude, I talked. They have this actor guy, or not actor, but they have this performer that's a construction worker at Fast and Furious now, and I've talked to him about that, and I was like, Toretto's, but create that sandwich shop, but make it feel like a Jersey Mike's, Jersey Mike's is so good. Dude.
Solid.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah. So do a Toretto's, but make it like Jersey Mike's.
That would be dope. And then
I like the tuna here.
Oh, dude. Oh my gosh. It would be dope.
Having a customizable sandwich shop at Universal would be a good addition. That's a welcome addition, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, because there's really nothing.
There's nothing like that.
No, there isn't. So very, very interesting stuff. Our last topic we're going to talk about is the Avengers property. So Mondo, again, you were watching live about D23. How excited are you that we are getting the Avengers e-ticket, but we're also getting another ride that wasn't even speculated to come.
Yeah. I'm excited, man. Avenger Campus, they should have been working on all this a long time ago. This is weird that it's such a delay to start these projects. I feel like they've already been knowing what they want to do, but for some reason it just took to this point to actually be done. I bring this up. I was talking to somebody, like, I think it was yesterday. I was telling them, imagine they started working on all this maybe like 1 year after it opened or 2 years after it opened.
Sure.
They would literally save billions of dollars because things only got more expensive. And at the same time, a lot of these construction companies that do theme park all got ate up by Epic Universe.
Yeah.
They're all over there. So, like, this construction that they're about to get into costs them so much more than if they started back then. And I feel like that's really going to burden them in the long haul because it could have been cheaper. It could have been a cheaper thing to get done. But I don't know. It's very clear that there's a lot of flip-flop in the Disney executive positions, like the very top. Even they don't know what they want to do because if you remember, it was going to be a Quinjet Black Panther kind of ride. And all the Avengers are going to be part of it. And a lot of the headquarters it looked like a different kind of stunt show was going to come to life. And then eventually we ended up getting Avenger Campus pretty much not done, half done, because supposedly this is like a 50% expansion. And now it's King Thanos ride with this like Kuka arm Tony Stark ride. I don't even know what to think of it. I wish they would have gave us more concrete of like what King Thanos is actually going to be. But I'm excited. I heard it's a massive show building that's coming for King Thanos. And if it's a massive show building, it can't just be screens. I feel there has to be physical sets in there, or maybe animatronics. I don't know. I just hope that this King Thanos ride feels a lot like that Jurassic World Beijing ride.
Yes.
Where there's physical sets, physical animatronics, and it's not just a screen-based ride, you know?
In a sense of danger, maybe Thanos is chasing you.
Thanos is about to kill us.
That's what I needed.
One thing that was brought up as well, not with Infinity Defense, which I think is a unique name in itself, but the Tony Stark Kuka arm ride. I kind of was speculating because there was one picture that it looked like literally like a giant oval track, kind of like what you would see like at an airport, waiting for your luggage, which I'm kind of hoping that's not the case. But I'm kind of hoping that the Kuka arm kind of takes you through some show scenes. It'll have practical effects. Also, I was saying, since those two buildings are literally right next to each other, what if the Kuka arm, what if there's a story where you kind of ride the Kuka arm attraction first, and that's kind of going in its own ride track system, but it also goes through the building of Infinity Defense, kind of like what the People Mover used to do back in the early days of Tomorrowland, where it went through, Star Tours, it went through, Space Mountain, it went through all these other buildings where you can actually see scenes from the actual attraction, but kind of give you that immersive feel. Do you guys feel that's even possible, or you think that's just way thinking out of the box?
What do you think, Tommy?
I mean, anything could be possible, but so you're basically saying is you're thinking it's going to be like on a conveyor belt moving you around with you in the air. So you're like, is he teaching us how to fly? Like, are we looking, at different events happening, or are we in a constant motion of like we're training, you know?
It could be a numerous of things, because from what I understand, there's going to be numerous Avengers on that attraction, teaching you their abilities. It's not just going to be Tony Stark. Obviously, Tony Stark is going to be the main focal point, but there's going to be other Avengers on that attraction.
Got it. So I don't need to be spun around and get hella dizzy too much. Yeah, if I'm trying to focus on a story too. So
vomit arm.
I heard the Kuka Tony Stark arm thing is a ride. It's not just going to pick you up and shake you. It's going to be a ride.
Okay.
And I also heard too that ride system was supposed to be part of the Black Panther Wakanda ride originally. Because if you remember that concept art, you were like kind of like with like a jetpack or something. You know what I mean?
Wow, that's gonna be solid.
Yeah.
I do remember that. And then also to make way for this, they're getting rid of the red car trolley in the Hollywood area. What do you guys think about that? Because the red car trolley garage, it's literally behind the Avengers campus show building. So what do you guys think about that? About the red car trolley going away?
I don't think it's going to be permanent. I think they're going to figure something out. They're not going to waste all the trolley track, right?
I don't know. I think they're going to rip it out.
I think they're going to rip it out. Trolley's gone, dude. That's my opinion. I think it's gone. Why keep the tracks? Why keep the wires above the trolley area? Yeah. I think all that theming is just gone.
Okay, so to your point, Mondo, they were saying, I don't know how they would implement it in a dark ride, but there was something someone posted on Twitter about some of those trolley cars being implemented into Coco.
Yeah, I think it was Slimer said that.
Yeah, Slimer did say that.
And I was like, dude, that makes total sense, man. If you bring up his tweet, I was like, dude, that's...
Yeah. Uh-oh.
So what was he saying?
That we would see it at a later date.
Yeah. Let me see if I could pull it up. I don't know how much he's posted.
Yeah, that was a cool catch by Slimer. I didn't even cross my mind, but I was like, that would make sense.
Oh, there it is, right there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Solid catch.
Yeah. He caught that like...
Yeah, there you go. That's the red trolley.
That is, yeah. That's it, man.
Have you, Mondo, since you do Speculation Sunday with Danny, have you asked him about that?
No, not yet. I haven't had a chance to talk to him about that. But that would be cool. It's like a nice homage to like, hey, we lost the red trolley, but now it's part of a ride forever.
Yeah, for sure. One last thing I want to ask before we or actually two things I want to ask before we end tonight's live is, one is the Hyperion Theater. It's been rumored to be demolished and ripped out. My question to you, Mondo, I'm going to start with you, is do you think, because a lot of speculation has gone into Avatar going in the Hollywood backlot and using that whole area, do you think if they got rid of the Hyperion, would that be used for Avatar, or do you think that would be an expansion for more Avengers Campus with another possible attraction?
I heard that it's just more show building for King Thanos, dude. That's what I've heard, man. I heard this King Thanos building is just ginormous.
Yeah.
Just a big ass... I don't even know what they're trying to do, but I heard.
He froze for a second. Give him a second. There. Yeah. So my recollection of this, as you're looking at the concept art, do you see what I see right here? Do you see that? Looks like a Penn Test Kitchen sign. So it makes me wonder if that is the Hyperion or that is the building that's going to be part of King Thanos, or is that just another Avengers Campus ride building that we don't know about yet?
That's tough.
I would like a roller coaster, dude.
Yeah, because we don't need any more Ant-Man stuff. You know,
I feel like the Anna and Elsa meet and greet, they're trying to get it out of there. They're trying to move that thing to Disneyland.
Yeah.
If you ask me. Yeah, Animation Academy, I don't know what's going to happen to that building.
Dude,
if I had to take a guess, I don't think it's long for this world. Just because, like...
Because if you look at it, I think it's this building right here, right? Is that the Animation Academy right here, Mondo? That I'm thinking of?
Oh.
I'm thinking that's... Oh, he disappeared. He might be back in a second. I think this is the animation building that Mondo was talking about. That's a massive show building. Like,
that is
really massive. So if they got rid of that building, could you imagine what they're going to build there? Dude, that and the Hyperion, look how much space that Hyperion takes right now.
Yeah, that's a lot of space.
Yeah.
You know, they mentioned a lot of different places for Avatar, but like Mondo said, I don't think it's going to go there. I think it will be probably more Avengers.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, again, I'm going to keep my hopes up, and hopefully it does. I'm hoping the Hyperion is either Avengers Campus or it is Pandora. Personally, for me, now that, because Orange Grove 55, he was talking about it on a show the other day, and he was saying, well, you know, now that I think about it, if they built Avatar in the Hollywood backlot, and you could see how big the Hollywood backlot is, it's this entire area, and then they're going to take up the bus and load and unload area that comes from Toy Story, and then they're going to probably take over Philhar Magic, which is this building. You can, or I think it's over here actually, but imagine this whole area, and then all back there, how big Avatar is going to be. Like, I'm not even joking how big that's going to be. That's insane.
Yeah, if it's going in the spot you're mentioning, that is going to be big. That's going to be a crazy spot to be at. And, you know, I'll be there opening weekend.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I want to be there opening weekend. But
yeah, I would really love to be there for opening for the Fast and the Furious coaster, you know, Epic Universe, all of these. So hopefully we're all there. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, again, we talked about a lot of great stuff, and Mondo, he is a great person to talk to when it comes to, you know, all the theme parks, because he spends a lot of time at Universal, at Disneyland. He does cover Six Flags. He covers Knott's. He was actually just at Knott's for the preview event for Knott's Scary Farm for this year, so that was very cool. I'm going to try to make it out to Knott's Scary Farm myself this year. I don't know what day I'll be there. I'll let everyone know in the community so you can see me if you happen to go that night. But I want to ask you, Tommy, since we lost Mondo because of the internet, I want to ask you, what are your plans? Because you're going to come out for about a week or two, if I'm not mistaken. What are your plans beside HHN, so you can let everyone know so they can make sure to subscribe to your YouTube channel and follow your socials?
Okay, so thank you for asking. For HHN, I'm going 3 nights. I'm going opening night and then the 2 following days after. That's my big trip for this week coming up. I will be back in 2 weeks, and I'll be hitting Not Scary Farm and Six Flags Fright Fest. So everybody, please stay tuned. You know we're going to have some solid content for you guys. I may hit some more stuff too. I'm not sure if I'll do a studio tour, but my main priority is Halloween.
Absolutely. So I'm also doing the same thing Tommy's doing. Thursday night, me and him are doing an RIP tour. Tommy is doing it at 5 o'clock. I was less fortunate and I couldn't get 5 o'clock, so I'm doing the next best thing. I'm doing 5:20. Friday, we are both doing general admission with early entry. Saturday, we're both doing early entry. I'm doing Express Unlimited. Tommy is going to try to get Express Unlimited for Saturday. But we're going to be there Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So if you see us in the park, definitely come up to us, say hello. We definitely enjoy meeting with our community, our fans. We appreciate all of you because you guys make it happen for us. You guys are a huge inspiration to all content creators, not just me and Tommy, but everybody. So we absolutely enjoy you guys coming up to us, saying hello, and just saying hello. That's all you have to do. Don't be nervous. We're not a scare actor, I could promise you. But Friday, me and Tom are going to try to work it out. I'm staying at the Hilton Hotel, literally right across the way. Me and Tommy are going to try to do a live stream from the hotel room Friday morning. So definitely stay tuned for that. And we're going to talk about everything we saw on the opening night, which is September the 5th, which, we're both doing RIP for that night. So definitely stay tuned for that. I'll give the community an update on that and see what time we're going to do it. We're obviously going to try to do it. I'm going to try to aim for probably 11 in the morning, possibly maybe noon. And it's probably going to go on for about maybe an hour, hour and a half, because me and Tommy have to get ready for round 2, as I call it, because it's going to be fire and lit. But definitely stay tuned. The TommyToonWorld, that's Tommy's channel for food reviews, because he is going to be on top of that. I'm going to be joining him on some of those food reviews. But the menu that we went over with Mondo earlier, a lot of the stuff looks very, very, very interesting to try. I'm super excited for some items. Let me ask you, Tommy, since you said you're going to go to Fright Fest, is this your first time going to Fright Fest?
First time going to Fright Fest in SoCal. I've been up to the one up in here in the Bay Area, but I haven't done it since I was a kid.
Okay. Yeah. Out of what you've seen online for Fright Fest down here in LA, what house are you excited for?
Oh, I'm glad you asked that. So I got a couple. So Stranger Things, not to get scared in, but I just want to see how Six Flags perceives Stranger Things since I saw it last year, the season 4 of at Universal, which was pretty fire. I'm also pumped for Trick or Treat. That one I'm excited for. Saw it looked fire last time, so I am pumped for Saw 2. I'm just really happy to see the layout and how they handle these big name IPs,
Yeah. One thing, I don't want to be skeptical. That's not how I like to do things. But for Six Flags, they announced 11 houses this year. 11. That's a lot of houses. And the last time I checked was about a week or 2 ago, and half of those houses weren't even constructed yet. it makes me wonder if there's going to be budget cuts in some of these houses to get them ready, but they're not going to be as detailed as they might have hoped.
Got it. So, in my opinion, I know that HHN's the cream of the crop for haunts. For Six Flags, I'm expecting what they did with Saw. So it's not, it's still there. I'm still gonna appreciate it, and I'm still gonna have fun. But it's probably not gonna be HHN standards, which I'm already going in understanding. So, Stranger Things may be like the Hawkins High School or something from a previous season that doesn't have Vecna in it. Saw may just be Saw 10 again. So, yeah. So I totally get what you mean. They might not need that much time to construct the facades, especially if they're opening a couple weeks after Universal.
Yeah.
Right. Or if not, they're opening the same week, but Knott's is opening a couple weeks after.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for Knott's Scary Farm too. I hope all those lanterns don't get sold out by the time I get there.
Yeah, those lanterns, that's one thing I could say for sure. That's one thing I like about Knott's Scary Farm since they introduced the lanterns. Dude, just the whole aspect of the, I wouldn't say immersion, but interactive elements in each house with the lantern and even the scare zones and the monsters. That is such a cool thing Knott's Scary Farm did. And I hope they continue that every single year because that is just a great element to have. Like, I'm not even joking. It's amazing. One thing I wanted to ask you, and this is jumping back to HHN, out of all the houses, which one are you most excited for, terrified for, and which one do you think is going to be the number one for this year? According to what Mondo said about some of the houses he went through with John Murray.
Sure. Right off the bat, I would say I'm going to be terrified of Chainsaw Massacre. That one, I'm afraid of slashers, and those are my type of horror movies. So I'm going to love going through that one, though. The most intriguing house to me that I want to see what it looks like and how it's adapted is possibly A Quiet Place. But my hype meter for Death Valley and what was it called? Dead Zone?
So it's called Death Valley. Death Valley.
Oh, Dead Exposure. So
Dead Exposure, Death Valley. Got it.
Dead Exposure and Universal Monsters. Those are on my hype meter, like on 10, bro. Yeah. So I'm really hoping for that. Like you said, it's really hard to figure out House of the Year. Of course, I could say The Weeknd, but from hearing what Mondo said, it could be Insidious.
Yeah, so just to recap, since Mondo had to go and he lagged out, he was saying he has a buddy in Orlando that is at the team member preview that was last night. And his buddy was telling him, and Mondo was saying on here earlier, that house was like God mode, like Mondo likes to call things. It was absolute God mode. And we know from Insidious's past at Hollywood, at least, I don't know about Orlando, but Hollywood, the last time it was at Hollywood, it had a ton of black walls. And we were kind of having a laughing joke at a little bit earlier because I told Mondo and Tommy, I said, I literally ran into at least several black walls. And it was not dark outside yet, so I could see the wall going. I'm like, thinking to myself, am I going to be the cause of destroying this house before everyone else gets to enjoy it? But that house had a lot of black walls. But from what Mondo said, his friend said, it doesn't seem like it's going to have any black walls this year. the facade itself for our version in Hollywood looks absolutely incredible. Like Mondo said, it looked like a movie set. So I'm super stoked for that. And he did confirm dead exposure and what was it? Dead exposure, and it was
Monstros.
He can confirm 0 black walls. And he did say dead exposure, you might have to hit that house multiple times to get every bit of element and effects and props and scare actors and just everything surrounded where you can see everything. So you can't just do a one and done. No, you have to do it multiple times. So if everyone that's watching, if you haven't bought your tickets yet, do so. Because I can promise you this, when team member preview happens for Hollywood, which I think is coming up on Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm telling you right now, tickets are going to sell out. Because people from the team member preview, they're going to post videos, they're going to post pictures, they're going to post tweets, everything. And it's going to be absolutely incredible. Me personally, I'm going to say my most fearful, since they're using the multiverse, is what Tommy said, Chainsaw Massacre, because they are using that multiverse term like the Avengers have been using with their movies. My most enticing one would probably be Dead Exposure, since this is going to be the absolute first year we're getting it to the event out here in Hollywood, because it's been an Orlando-based property. The one I'm most excited for, and this is just a thrill factor, like hyped up, The Weeknd. And I'm going to add a fourth one to go neck and neck with Texas Chainsaw. I think the second scariest, if not maybe the first, I have to determine when I walk through it, Universal Monsters Bloodline. That is literally right there with Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And the fact that they are using Soundstage 12, which is, I think, to this very day, one of the biggest sound stages on any movie lot, and the fact that John Murdy got permission to use that as a house, dude, that house alone has to be humongous. So you can imagine how many props, scenes, scare actors that's going to have alone.
That one's going to be crazy. And I'm going to say the sleeper hit is going to be A Quiet Place.
Yeah.
So that's the movie IP that I like the most out of all of them.
Sure.
The Red Door for Insidious was whatever. Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire. I like the IP coming because I like the ghosts and stuff, but the storyline was a little lackluster.
Yeah.
So I am really pumped.
Yeah.
For A Quiet Place.
I personally, I'm very interested in The Quiet Place. I think it was Theme Park Obsession, or it was JP Land 21 that was saying that I think it's going to be the first part, if not the entrance. They're going to be using sign language. I don't know how that's going to be incorporated. So that's going to be very interesting to see how they do that. But from what I can tell, my most fun house, and I'm not going to even call it scary, but I'm going to call it fun, is going to be Ghostbusters. That's going to be just more like a fun, nostalgic type house. Right.
And where's that going to be located? I know the map came out today.
Yes, that is going to be located on, I don't have it open. Let me close some of these windows and I'll look it up right now.
Yeah. What is it, through Hogsmeade?
Yes. So it's going to be in that location. Let me see if
kind of where was it? Let's say, would you say is where Stranger Things was, Last of Us was, or Exorcist, or Holidays in Hell? Because I know you're at the park more than me, so I want to see.
It's going to be located right here.
Okay.
This house right here. That's where it's
Okay.
going to be located. These are the two houses we have to walk through to get to. We have to walk through Hogsmeade to get to.
Okay.
And
And it'll be Ghostbusters and
the Insidious is right here.
solid.
Yeah. So Ghostbusters for me is going to be type of a fun house. So I don't see that one being scary, but very exciting to go through and nostalgic for people that like Ghostbusters. So, and I want to say, and I've told you this several times, Tommy, I want to tell everyone in the chat, when they had Ghostbusters the last time, and this was on the Metro sets, I kid you the freak not, I saw Dan Aykroyd there. I couldn't get close. I saw him from a distance, and it was absolutely incredible. I love Dan Aykroyd. Great actor. I loved him in Ghostbusters. I loved him in multiple other movies he's done. The guy is just absolutely incredible. So, but it's very cool opening weekend because you just don't know who you're going to see, and a lot of actors and actresses and people we don't see on a normal day basis at a theme park are going to be there. So that's going to be exciting.
Exactly. So keep your eyes open.
Yeah, we speculated at first that the Weeknd might be there opening night, but we're kind of thinking he might be there towards the middle to the end of the event because he's going to be in Brazil doing a show that Saturday. So that's kind of a little tight for him to be there. But I did see him, not last year, but the year before when he was there. And I have to tell you, I was on the escalator going, I think I was going up. He was going down to the lower lot, and he had his entourage with him, security, his family. He had John Murdy and Chris Williams with him. And John Murdy and Chris Williams are the creative directors of the event. So that was very cool to kind of get close. Not too close, but kind of close. But Tommy and Mondo, I want to thank you both for joining tonight's live stream. I want to thank everyone for watching tonight's Conductor Thursday live stream. Tommy, I'm going to start with you. Again, thank you for being on the live stream. Where can everyone find you on social media, and where can any plans besides HHN and Six Flags and Knott's?
Yeah, man, I appreciate you having me on, Theme Park Conductor, and I appreciate Mondo, Five Fires. I respect the hell out of you, man. You got a lot of content. Keep grinding. So for me, I am coming to HHN, and then 2 weeks after, Six Flags and Knott's. So I don't have anything planned after that, but I do have a lot of food reviews coming out. I still have a lot of Vegas stuff coming out as well. So check out my channel if you like Vegas. I do Vegas, theme parks, and food. X and YouTube, I'm at TommyToonWorld. And then on Instagram, I'm at TommyToon_. That's where you'll see pictures and behind the scenes stuff and new style of food reviews. So you could definitely follow me there. That's where I'm most active besides YouTube.
Absolutely. And then I'm gonna speak for the Mondo from Five Fires. Again, he had to go and he also lagged out. But you can find Mondo at on YouTube and Instagram at Five Fires. You can find him on Twitter at the Cali Bay. And again, Mondo is a great friend of the channel. If you haven't subscribed to Mondo, Five Fires Community, he does a live stream every Sunday with his co-host, Danny. Definitely check that out. Again, I want to thank him. I want to thank Tommy as well for being on tonight's live stream. I know it's very important that, you guys, if you guys work a 9-to-5 job to kind of unwind and relax. So I definitely appreciate everyone watching tonight. And you will see me and Tommy and Mondo. I guess Mondo got a last minute RIP tour from a friend. I don't know what time he's doing, but all three of us, and don't hold me to it, but all three of us will maybe try to link up that first night and try to do something together, whether it's going through a house or doing a review of some type of food item. So definitely stay tuned for that. Also, like I said earlier, me and Tommy are going to be doing a live stream from the hotel Friday morning to talk about our experience for the RIP, experience for the very first night of the 2024 HHN season for Hollywood. So stay tuned for that. And you can find me, Theme Park Conductor, on YouTube and Instagram at Theme Park Conductor. You can find me on Twitter at Theme Conductor. And you can also find me every Thursday at 7 p.m. on Conductor Thursday Livestream. And I will have guests, and sometimes I will be solo, but I am trying to introduce more guests onto the show. Like you've seen, I've had Tommy on the show multiple times. He's always a great contributor being on the show. I was lucky to get Mondo on the show because his schedule is super busy. So I appreciate you, Mondo. Shout out to you. I want to give a shout out to Orange Go 55, George the Italiano, Theme Park Wizard, Weba. Those are our moderators, and also Five Fires. So big shout out to you guys for keeping the show clean and respectful, because that's all we ask as content creators, to keep it respectful and clean. And if you don't have a positive comment, please keep it to yourself, because it kind of ruins it for everyone else. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, and if you have an opinion to post, we have no problem with that. Just keep it respectful. No attacking people, please. I urge you not to do that. But again, I want to thank everyone for joining. Everyone have a great night. Stay safe. Be cool out there. And try not to burn up, or else you're going to look like some of those characters from Dead Exposure. So don't burn up, please. I beg of you. Have a good night, everybody.